Hi, my name is Jemal Singleton. I'm the assistant head coach and running backs coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. I often get asked, how do I get to the NFL? How did you get to the position you currently are in? And really, the advice that I got early in my coaching career, I went to a coaching clinic, got to listen to some great head coaches, and it was actually a head coach speaking. I kind of don't like saying it because I've coaching here in Stillwater before, but it was from Bob Stoops from Oklahoma, and he made the point that has stuck with me since the beginning of my career. And he said, "Work the job you have." And I think as coaches, what happens is we're always trying to look for that next job. What do I do to get the promotion to here? What do I do to go from D2 to D1 or from D1 to the NFL? And we tend to forget exactly what is important. And what's important is what you're doing now. I've been fortunate in my NFL career to work for some great head coaches, and Chuck Pagano always had a phrase, be where your feet are. And I think that really plays in line with the version of, hey, coach the job you have. So I've really always focused on where I was currently, not so much the next job, not so much the next place, but on just being the best version of myself in the current job that I held. And it didn't matter if it was a varsity assistant, it didn't matter if it was a position coach. I tried to be the best that I could be there. And I think it really carries over in other parts of your life is being where my feet are. When I'm at work, I want to be totally invested and committed to work, to being there, being with my players. But also when I turn that off and I head home, I want to be totally and completely there. I want to be with my family. I want to be the best husband. I want to be the best father. And everything that I've done in my career is to always try to be the best. I like people to think, well, man, that's the best running back coach we've ever had here. And from that, I think that's what's helped me throughout the years to get the next job. Most jobs that have come to me and most opportunities have come to me have not been because I was reaching out to somebody, I was trying to get another job, I was trying to network. They've come to me because of maybe someone I worked with in the past that not only knew me, but knew my work. And the saying goes is, it's all about who you know. Well, it's not. You can know someone and they know that you're not a hard worker, and that doesn't help you. So it's more about people that know your work and know you as a person, know you as a man, and in my profession, know you as a coach. It's really interesting how I got the job that I'm currently in right now. And I really like to tell this story because it deals with so much more of just who you are as a person, not so much as a coach. So my first job in the NFL was with the Indianapolis Colts. So I got an interview opportunity with there. There was a man that I worked with at the Air Force Academy, Brad White, that I coached with, and they had a job opening, had done some interviews, and kind of reached out to him, and he mentioned my name as a chance to come. So I went and I interviewed for that job. And I say this is very important. I went, and a young man came and picked me up from the airport. Young man got my bags, put them in the car. Young man took me to the hotel, picked me up the next day, took me to the facility. And this young man was just a scouting intern, just a young guy, just starting in the profession, just getting into the NFL. And really one of those guys that if I was really looking at it from a negative perspective, couldn't do anything for me, couldn't help me in my career, couldn't do things like that. But just in my heart and with my walk in faith, I try to treat people with respect no matter who they are or what they do. And this young man, we engaged in conversation, and we talked to each other. And really, after I got the job with the Colts, we kind of kept building that relationship going out. We talked to each other in the hallways, on the practice field, and really just built a little bit of a relationship. Well, fast forward, the career path, I went to a couple other jobs. He had kind of went to a couple other jobs, and kind of brings us to a little bit of this point now. So this same individual was now the director of pro scouting with the Philadelphia Eagles, a guy that I knew. So they had had a job come open, and had interviewed some guys and didn't really find somebody that they were looking for. And our head coach actually reached out to this individual. Their offices just happened to be right next to each other. And they're like, hey, Brandon, you know kind of what we're looking for in a running back position. Do you have any names? And Brandon said, you know what? I have one name. I have one name. There's one guy that I know, and his name is Jemal Singleton. And from that point, the organization went out, made calls, interviewed former players that I had coached, interviewed former coaches that I had coached with, and really just did a major overhaul background check on me. All right, seeing who I was as a person, how I was as a coach. This is all going on where I'm totally unaware of it. I start to get calls from former players that, hey, the Philadelphia Eagles called me, coach. They're asking about you. Hey, the Philadelphia Eagles called my agent. They're asking about me. Hey, Jamal, hey, bro, the Eagles are reaching out for you. And this is all going on before I'd even know that they were interested in me as a job. And if fast forward we go, the opportunity presents itself. I interview. I end up getting the job. I end up getting the title of assistant head coach. And it was just amazing. But I go back to the point that it was all based on a relationship with an individual that I met that at that point couldn't do anything for me. But that same individual, the same individual that picked me up from the airport, was the same guy that ultimately opened the door of opportunity for me to currently be in the position I'm in right now. And had I not treated him with respect, had I not given him just treated him the way he needed to be treated as a man and not treat him as somebody who can't help me, this opportunity would have never presented itself. And I think that's what we always have to imagine is be a good person, treat people with respect. You never know. I'm not saying that they're going to get you a job someday, but in my case, that's exactly what happened. And fast forward a little bit more, and I think it's amazing. He was a young college running back coach looking at his first NFL job when I went with the Colts. There was a young scouting intern just picking up this coach from the airport that he has no idea, doesn't know about. And lo and behold, all of a sudden now they're working together. All right. And moved up in their career. Not only that, now that young guy, that same scouting intern, is now getting another job. He is now the assistant GM for the New York Giants. So, a scouting intern and a college running back coach. Now you're looking at an assistant head coach in the NFL and an assistant GM in the NFL. And those are two guys that, who knows, by happenstance met in one place at one time. I don't believe in coincidence very much. I think there was a plan involved with that. And it really just goes to show how did I get it? How did I get into the NFL? Well, a lot big part of it was treating people with respect, being the best version of me I could possibly be in the current job I have. So, my advice to those guys out there trying to do something else is work the job you have better than any opportunity you have. Those other opportunities will present yourself if you do that.